Today we're making a little cream-based sauce that features not only our halal beef bacon, but also snowpack organic peas. We're going to start by dicing up a shallot. Recently I've been experimenting with all kinds of stuff with shallots. Fried shallots as toppings, using shallots in cream sauces, stuff like that. Right now I think shallots add a great flavor and have a nice subtle sweetness. Plus they don't burn your eyes quite as bad as regular onions, and me being a tiny little baby man, I like that a lot. Next we're going to chop up some garlic. I have probably 7 cloves of garlic here, but 2 of them are really small, so we're going to say like 5 large cloves worth. I like to chop my garlic a bit before I put it through the garlic press, that way I can fit more in there at one time. And it's halal beef bakey time! We don't want the bacon to totally take over the dish, so we're only going to be using 5 slices of the bacon. I also wanted to try cutting it into pieces before cooking it, and I could go either way on this. You can cut it before or after it's cooked, whichever is easiest for you. Now we're going to bloom 1 tablespoon of fennel seeds over the lowest heat we can. This helps to reactivate some of the oils in the seeds and give it a stronger flavor in the end. Get those into a mortar and pestle and let them cool for a minute or 2 before grinding into a powder. Now that our spice is prepped, we'll cook up our chopped bakey. I cooked my bits over medium heat for about 8 minutes, but this can be done to your preferred crispiness. If you'd like to try our beef bacon for yourself, head to the link in the description and use code YTV10 for free shipping on your first order. Also, it's good to remember that the bacon is more crisp than it appears in the pan, so if it looks too dark, it'll only get darker for you once you take it off the heat. Place those bacon bits on a paper towel lined mixing bowl or plate and set them aside for now. If you're making this at home, you can make the sauce and the pasta at the same time, but since I've only got the one burner, I'm going to make the pasta first. I recommend using 8 ounces of orecchiette pasta because it's a unique, fun pasta, but I also think large shells or something similar would work. Really, we want a pasta that's going to scoop up the sauce and have room for the peas and the bacon. Reserve about a half a cup of the pasta cooking water for later, then coat the drained pasta in a little bit of olive oil so it doesn't stick together too bad. Now we'll melt 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter in the cleaned out pan over medium-low heat. Toss in your shallots and get those cooking up. Once those are smelling nice, we'll toss in our garlic. And you want to be careful because both of these ingredients can burn pretty easily. Once we have some good color on those and the garlic is fragrant, we're going to grate on some nutmeg. It seems a little strange, but nutmeg in cream sauces adds a delicious nuttiness that deepens our flavor. We use probably a teaspoon because it's pretty strong. Go ahead and toss the fennel in now as well, and we want to cook those for about 30 seconds. Again, these seasonings burn really easily, so 30 seconds is plenty of time. Now we'll pour in 2 cups of heavy cream and give that a little stir so all the ingredients are mixed together. Increase your heat to medium and stir constantly. If you don't, the cream can burn to the bottom and nobody wants that. We'll cook that for about 5 to 7 minutes or until it's lightly thickened. Then we'll add in about a 1/4 cup of freshly shredded Parmesan in batches. This ensures that all of our cheese melts and we don't end up with lumps. We'll add about half of the pasta cooking liquid. This will help to emulsify the sauce, which will help to keep it from separating. Now we gotta taste it. I liked it, but I thought I could use a little more nutmeg. I probably used around a teaspoon or so at this point. Then I hit it with around half a teaspoon of sea salt because the Parmesan is going to have some natural saltiness to it. Then we'll hit it with some freshly cracked black pepper and mix it up nice and good. Then it's time for the second taste. Mine needed a little more salt and pepper to get it where I wanted. I added those in and gave it a third little taste test, and I realized I needed more nutmeg, salt, and pepper. But that's okay because a big part of cooking is learning what you like in a dish and how to get it to that point. Also, all the amounts I've used up until now have accounted for the additions I made right here. So if you follow the amounts I've mentioned previously, you should be right along with me in terms of flavor. As I mentioned before, I wanted to make this dish specifically because I wanted to use some of Snowpack's organic green peas. We sell these at MidamarHalal.com, which again is linked in the description, and they really are my favorite part of this whole dish. When I make this, I like to use 1 whole bag of frozen peas. Using them while frozen is recommended because if you microwave them first, they have a tendency to split open when you're mixing the sauce. Get those thawed and warmed, then we'll add in our chopped bakey and get that warm. And finally, we'll add in our orecchiette and mix it all up. This recipe was a ton of fun to make, and I really loved the velvety texture of the sauce combined with the smokiness from the bacon and the earthiness from the nutmeg. Let me know what you think of the recipe in the comments below, and we'll see you next week with another delicious halal recipe.